Good evening and happy Friday. Tonight we are inviting you to use your imagination and come camping with us. So we've got a chair for you and a sleeping bag to keep you cozy. We got a fire ready, but we're not going to light it because we're paying attention to Summit County rules, and only fires in metal rings that are like at a campsite and approved sites. But we're going to still sing some songs that we might sing around a campfire. And to help me sing, I have our good, awesome friend Randall here with us. I'm hoping some of you saw him with Bingham this week. All right, so we are going to start with an opening song, The More We Get Together, but we're not going to sing it with the library books, just the regular way with Where Your Friends Are My Friends. All right, but you can still do the sign language if you remember it.
All right.
All right, Randall.
The more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be.
All right, so I've got a backpack full of books in here. I wonder what we're going to read first. Oh, a very good old favorite, Pete the Cat Goes Camping. The pictures and the story are by James Dean, and it's published by Harper Publishing. And I know we've read this together in other story times, but a good book is like a good friend. You're always happy to see him or her again. So let's find out what Pete does when he goes camping. Do you see all the signs that Pete's camping? He's got hiking boots, sleeping bag, a backpack, a walking stick, and a sign that says the trail is this way. I always appreciate when there are signs that say go this way. All right, Pete the Cat Goes Camping. Pete is excited to go camping. This is his first time. Don't forget your sleeping bag, says Dad. Or your hiking boots, Mom says. Because it's not safe to go hiking in flip-flops. Not a good idea. The campsite is deep in the woods. Mom and Dad set up the tent. Pete and Bob help collect sticks so they can make a fire later. Pete and Bob go for a hike. Bob shows Pete the footprints of different animals. Wow, those are some nice, really clear prints. What do you think? A bear, a wolf, a coyote? Definitely too big for squirrels. Do you think we'll see anything cool? Asks Pete. Maybe, says Bob. I guess they're used to seeing bunny rabbits. That's not cool, huh? Pete and his dad go fishing. They must be very quiet and still to catch a fish. Fishing takes a long time, and they finally catch some fish. Mom builds a fire. She cooks the fish for dinner. It tastes yummy. Pete roasts marshmallows. Pete makes s'mores with chocolate and graham crackers and those toasty marshmallows. And maybe after camping story time tonight, you might want to do that. It starts to get dark out. Bob tells Pete a story about a scary, hairy giant. The giant lives in the woods. His name is Bigfoot. Do you think Bigfoot lives here? Like in these woods? Asked Pete. Oh, no one has ever seen Bigfoot, says Bob. Don't let Bob scare you, says Dad. Bigfoot's not real, Mom says. Phew. Pete sighs with relief. But if he's real, I bet he's friendly, says Dad. And I bet he likes s'mores, too. I mean, really, who doesn't like s'mores? That's not scary, thinks Pete. Maybe Bigfoot wants a s'more. So Pete leaves one for his hairy friend. Soon it's time for bed. Lights out, Dad says. Oh, you see what Dad's doing? He's pouring water on the fire. They want to make sure that fire's all the way out before they go to sleep. Bob and Pete share a tent. Pete gets into his sleeping bag. It's cozy, but he cannot sleep. The woods seem extra dark, and all the sounds seem extra loud at night. Pete hears a swooshing sound. What was that? He asks Bob. It's just the wind, says Bob. I thought maybe it was going to be an owl. Pete hears an odd chirping noise. What's that? He asks out loud. Those are just crickets. Pete hears a strange hooting sound. What's that? He wonders. What do you all think it is? That's an owl, and Pete thinks about his friend Owl. Pete hears a loud cracking sound. What's that? He wonders. But Bob is sound asleep. Pete listens carefully. Crack. Is it Bigfoot? Pete peeks outside. It's too dark to see anything. When Pete wakes up, he checks the spot where he left the s'more for Bigfoot. The s'more is gone. Wonder who took that. Thanks for the treat. XOXO. You know that means hugs and kisses. But there's a big footprint there. Pete shows his family. Wow, says Bob. I knew Bigfoot was real. Pete knows Bigfoot is not scary. Just because he looks different doesn't mean he's scary. And he likes s'mores too. So we're going to sing a song, and you're definitely going to know the tune because it's just like Wheels on the Bus. We sing lots of songs using the Wheels on the Bus tune, and this is called, actually, Mr. Randall made up some words for us to fit our camping theme. This goes, the first verse, the fire at the camp goes crackle, crackle, pop, crackle, crackle, pop, crackle, crackle, pop. The fire at the camp goes crackle, crackle, pop, the whole camping trip long. So Mr. Randall's going to get us singing, and then he's going to tell us the lyrics to some more verses, okay?
First of all, I want to make sure that everyone understands that just because I'm big and hairy, I'm not Bigfoot.
His feet,
I've got hiking boots on and everything, okay?
his feet look pretty normal. A
They're
little
reasonable.
big.
They're not too big.
A little big, not too bad though.
There you go. All right, we're going to sing The Fire at the Camp Goes Crackle, Crackle, Pop. Then we're going to say The Rain on My Tent Goes Pitter, Pitter, Pat. And then we're going to say The sun on my face feels so warm. It's so nice after that rain on my tent. And then we're going to sing The Birds in the Trees Go Toot, Toot, Toot. All right. Good. I think that'll get us into the feel of being camping.
I think so.
The fire at the camp goes crackle, crackle, pop, crackle, crackle, pop, crackle, crackle, pop. Fire at the camp goes crackle, crackle, pop, the whole camp trip long. The rain on my tent goes pitter, pitter, pat, pitter, pitter, pat, pitter, pitter, pat. The rain on my tent goes pitter, pitter, pat, the whole camp trip long. Oh, the sun, look at that sun. Oh boy, sun on my face feels so warm, feels so warm, feels so warm. Sun on my face feels so warm, the whole campfire long. Listen, can you hear little birds singing in the trees? Oh yes, let's sing about the birds. Birds in the trees go tweet, 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 tweet. Birds in the trees go tweet, 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 the whole campfire long.
Very fun. All right. Wonder what else.
Got another book in that backpack?
I think I might have another
Wonderful.
book in this backpack when I go camping with Grandma. Now, I actually never went camping with my grandma, but I would have liked to. This is by Marion, Dane, Bauer, and the pictures are by Alan Garnes. You notice this is a completely different style art than Pete the Cat. Those were more like cartoon pictures. These are paintings that almost look like photographs. And this is published by Bridgewater Books. And the author dedicates this to all her grandchildren. When I go camping with Grandma, we hike deep into the woods. Grandma holds my hand and sings to scare away any bears. And you know, that's not a bad idea when you're hiking, to sing or whistle, just in case there are any bears in the area. And if you sing really bad and off key, then they'll definitely stay away. She builds a fire and we roast hot dogs until they sputter and split, the juice running down our chins while we eat. A marshmallow on a stick goes fat and brown. Quick, catch it. Have you ever noticed that when you roast a marshmallow, that all of a sudden it hits a stage where it just puffs out? And when we go canoeing, Grandma paddles through the sunlight spread on black water. I used to have a silk dress that looked just like this, she says. Must be a pretty calm day. Tree bones stand out in the lake. We drop our hooks and wait. A heron wings over our heads, making a great blue shadow. Looks a bit like a pterodactyl. Oh, the sun grows flat and red. It dips into the edge of the lake. What beautiful sunset colors. And a fish comes shining, gasping into the air. Shall we have fish for breakfast, Grandma asks. I would say yes, but the granddaughter says, you know I like pancakes. She slips the fish off the hook and back into the water. It lies still, waiting. Then it flicks its tail and is gone in a wiggle of light. We climb into our sleeping bags, whisper in the dark. Good night, good night, good night, I say again. In the morning, I pop my head out of the tent. The moon still floats in the blue sky like a balloon left from a night party. Oh, there's a page in there. Come on. A squirrel nibbles a marshmallow. A gauzy hammock in the grass holds a spider's breakfast and a sip of dew. I bet that squirrel was pretty excited to find a marshmallow. Wake up, Grandma, I call. The day is here. Grandma yawns and stretches, rubs her eyes. Dear me, she says, the ground is hard. Maybe my bones are getting too old for camping. We look at each other for a long time, Then we laugh and hug. Soon I'll be taller and stronger, and I'll sing away the bears when we hike in the woods. I'll be the one to build the fire and paddle the canoe. And when Grandma catches a fish, I'll let it slip off the hook. And together we'll watch it wiggle away in the black silk water. Well, when I read that book, it made me think of how much I loved my grandma, especially my grandma Duck. And you know what? I wish she was still around, and if we were together, I would sing to her and tell her that she is my sunshine. So, Randall, could we sing You Are My Sunshine?
That's an excellent song to sing to grandmothers.
Okay.
Here we
For
go.
grandmothers to sing to grandkids as
Absolutely.
well.
All right, here we go.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Oh, that was so good. Let's sing it twice. Here we go.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
That was lovely. Well, this book is actually about hiking because, you know, if you stay at a campsite for a couple days, well, you know, it's awesome to eat fish or pancakes or s'mores by the fire, but you got to go out and get some exercise too. So we've got some friends, a beaver, a bear, and a moose who are going to take a walk on the wild side. And the story and the pictures are by Nicholas Oldland.
My kind of walk.
Yeah, kind of book. I love it. Look at look at their feet. That's so funny. They're all walking very big steps. And this is published by Kids Can Press. I wonder if they're hiking in Colorado because there's still some snow on the peaks here.
I think so.
Well, there was once a bear, a moose, and a beaver who loved adventure. But sometimes their competitive nature got in the way of having fun. Do you guys know what that means to be competitive? If you have brothers or sisters, I bet you do a little competition like, I'm going to get there first. I'm going to be the one in the front seat. I get the first piece. That's being competitive. And sometimes that happens with friends too. Well, one sunny morning, the bear, the moose, and the beaver decided it was a great day to climb a mountain. Notice that the sun's not too far up in the sky. If you're going to climb a high mountain, you got to start early so you're not still up there when there's lightning. To get to the mountain, they descended into a valley. They walked through a grassy field. The bear says, "Are we there yet?" They waded through a stream and crossed a deep canyon. Beaver says, "Don't look down." Phew, I'm a little tired and I don't even know if we've started up the mountain yet. Let's find out. At the foot of the mountain, they stopped for a snack. Between mouthfuls, the bear, the moose, and the beaver discussed ways to make their trip more interesting. The beaver thought the best way to add some excitement was to make it a race. "I'm number one," he shouts. He's already picturing his gold medal around his neck. As soon as they finished their last bites, the three friends were off and running. The race was on. Thanks to his long legs, Moose took an early lead, but the beaver and the bear followed right on his tail. Phew, that looks a little challenging, climbing up that steep cliff face. Just as the moose rounded a bend in the mountain path, a boulder came tumbling down toward him. "Watch out, Moose!" Fortunately, the moose jumped out of harm's way just in time. Unfortunately, he jumped over the side of the mountain. Ah! Oh, Moose. Maybe he'll land in some water. Moose are good swimmers. When the beaver rounded the bend, the moose was out of sight. Worried he was falling behind, the beaver picked up his pace. When the bear came running by, he heard the moose's cry for help. Help! The bear followed the sound to the mountain's edge, where he saw the moose dangling from a tree branch. "Hold on, Moose, hold on." Fearlessly, the bear attempted a daring rescue. Sadly, he failed. Whoops! Thanks to the moose's quick reflexes, the bear's life was saved. Oh, thanks, buddy. But now they were both hanging on for their lives. Is Beaver around to help them? The moose and the bear's cries for help echoed up the mountain. The beaver followed their calls back down the path. The beaver's instincts kicked in. He chewed down a tree. He carved a few notches. He lowered the simple ladder to the moose and the bear so they could climb up. Phew, good to have a friend with strong teeth. Back on solid ground, the three friends realized their hike had become a little too exciting. If they were going to make it to the top of the mountain, a slower pace might be better. And then that's when the hike became truly interesting. They explored a dark cave. They discovered a prehistoric fossil, and they helped one another along the way. Always good to have friends to help you. And at the end of the hike, the bear, the moose, and the beaver agreed that reaching the top of the mountain was great, but enjoying the journey together was even better.
You know, after a wonderful, busy hike like that, it's kind of nice to come back and put your feet up next to the fire and warm up and just have a nice, relaxing evening.
That sounds perfect.
I think we should sing a song about a campfire. This thing, it sounds like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, because that is in fact the melody we're going to be using for this song, Miss Sheila. But we're going to sing about crackle, crackle, little fire. Here's more wood to build you higher. Keep us warm all through the night till the morning's new sunlight. Crackle, crackle, little fire. Here's more wood to build you higher. And then I'll sing another verse, but that's the main part right there, okay? All right, here we go. Crackle, crackle, little fire. Here's more wood to build you higher. Now keep us warm all through the night till the morning's new sunlight. Crackle, crackle, little fire. Here's more wood to build you higher. When the daylight all is done and there is no more sun, then we'll help to make you strong. Warm will be the all night long. Crackle, crackle, little fire. Here's more wood to build you higher.
in
so
the
fun.
mood for a really nice campfire, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
My husband and I are going to have to go somewhere where there are campsites with fire rings, so we are allowed to build a fire there. So, and you know what? There are still more books in here. I'm not going to read all these books, but I wanted to show you some fun books you can check out from the libraries here in Summit County that are also about camping. There's Scaredy Squirrel Goes Camping, which is lots of fun because Squirrel really does not want to go any place where you can't plug in your toaster. And then, you know I love the sheep books. There's Sheep Take a Hike. And well, nothing ever goes quite as planned for these sheep. So you might want to check this out and see maybe they get lost or something like that. And another awesome book is In the Canyon. And this is written by Liz Scanlon and illustrated by Ashley Wolf. And it looks a lot like the canyons in western Colorado or Utah. Look there's a stellar jay, and I bet if you spend some time outside here in Summit County, you might spot a stellar jay too. And of course, I want to remind you that summer reading and 1,000 books before kindergarten are still going on, so keep logging those books on Beanstack. And if you're doing summer reading, keep logging your challenges or how much time you're reading. And come collect your prizes, because that way we get to see you, which is so much fun. And while we're talking about camping and hiking, I've been seeing a lot of people outside at Summit County. They're riding their bikes and they're hiking and they're on the lake. So I just want to remind you to make sure you pack up whatever you bring in. I found this over in the grass here. That is not where this bottle belongs. It belongs in recycling. So remember, if you're camping or hiking, whatever you bring in, you've got to bring it out and take it to your trash at home or recycling. So, we live in such a beautiful place. Do you have any ideas what might be an awesome song?
You know, we have so much public land in Summit County. I'd like to sing an old Woody Guthrie song called This Land Is Your Land, because we all share in that public land.
That sounds like a good idea.
All right, here we go.
We're going to have Randall sing us out.
All right. Glad you could join us tonight.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. Here we go, everybody sing. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. For all of us. This land was made for you and me.
Glad to be here.
And you all, good night. Have fun. Stay safe. See you next time.